Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, Archangels and Ascended Masters, for the perfect guidance, perfect clarity, and perfect peace that's here for each of us right now. Thank you to the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for this opportunity for global peace, for personal peace, for open hearts, and for heart healing, and for there to be clear thoughts, clear intention, clear words. And we allow the highest good to happen for all. And we welcome peace on earth, peace in our hearts, peace in ourselves, and great things happening right now. So we'll just breathe into all that. Wonderful. And whether you see her, feel her, know that she's there, or hear her, let's notice Archangel Haniel sitting beside a very peaceful stream. And there's just the ground is level right where she is next to the stream. If we could just breathe and just notice her, perhaps on your left, perhaps in front of you, and just notice this archangel sitting by a stream. Let's just very simply notice her invitation for you to join her right where she is. So we'll just breathe into that. And let's let her bathe you in the stream. And if that's a toe, if that is a hand, if that is your whole body, if that is your upper body, let's very simply notice this invitation and the acceptance of you being bathed by this archangel in this healing stream. We'll notice that stream having a lovely temperature to it. And we'll notice there being lovely sounds, lovely scents, and gentle, gentle care from this archangel. Let's let her pay attention to with the water. We'll notice instant healing with the water of the stream. And if we could notice within that, her very gently and deliberately allowing healing water to go to joints, go to systems, go to confidence, to let her wash off the energy of the collective and allow there to be a wonderful definition right now of what love is. So let's notice you receiving this act of love and care and letting every cell in your body be infused with that act of love and care and the energy of love and care. And if we could let all the externals around stability, finances, jobs, tasks, we'll let all those things recede. Let's very simply notice what it's like. So just very simply receive loving care from Archangel Haniel right now. And if we could notice an understanding that is very simply innately here, which is this is a private, intimate healing between you and Archangel Haniel, and that other angels are on the perimeter, perhaps 100 feet or 100 yards away. So if we can notice perhaps downstream a bit of a ways, Archangel Sandalphon, the angel of music and vibration, let's notice him singing a song for you. Let's notice upstream several angels, a cluster of angels, Michael, Raphael, and Gabriel, infusing the water that comes to you downstream with perfect healing, perfect grace, and perfect peace. There is the infusion of abundance in that water, an infusion of love in that water, an infusion of global peace and personal peace in that water. And so if we could allow with this intimate act of you and Haniel cleansing and clearing and healing you, and the angels helping, if we could take this time to not concern ourselves with what other people are doing. And let's very simply notice with breath, with presence, with ease, the highest good happening right now. This healing, this cleansing being an act of care. Let's also notice what it's like to Feel the energy of maturity, the energy of wisdom. That the best thing we could possibly do right now is to be bathed by this archangel, be healed by the angels, and to feel goodness in every cell in our bodies right now. And if we could notice with gentle enthusiasm, Archangel Haniel inviting you to lie in the stream. If we could notice the stream is really not very deep, perhaps 5-6 inches. If we could notice what it's like to lounge, so your entire body, you could still breathe, is in the stream. Let's very simply notice Haniel really acting as the healer, perhaps her kneeling over you, using her hands, moving energy. And if we could release in this moment, try to figure other people out. And if we could release for this moment, trying to understand the origins of hate and fear and terror, if we can let all that go and let those things float downstream, those things that are pertinent for this moment, let's very simply notice what it's like just to be completely present and to receive love. And to notice what this act of receiving love does for you and how it helps the planet. We'll just breathe into that. And indeed, with lounging in the stream, with the perfect collection of crystals and rocks on the stream, the bed of the stream, that your neck is perfectly supported, your shoulders are relaxed. Let's notice those parts of your body, neck and shoulders, big joints, elbows, hips, knees, ankles, feet, wrists, fingers, jaws, them receiving the perfect healing right now. Letting the energy of other people, letting the energy of disappointment float downstream away from you. And if we could pay attention to our healing angel, Archangel Haniel, right now and notice her enthusiasm. And she'd like it to be reported that as she works on you, she's saying the word goody, that this is fun for her and she's excited. So if we could just take in a breath and we'll be silent for a bit here. If we could very simply let this archangel heal you perfectly right now. And she's asking permission to work deeply into our hearts. If we could just take in a breath and we'll say two things out loud. Thank you, Archangel Haniel, for healing me. Thank you, Archangel Haniel, for healing my heart. Wonderful. So we'll just breathe in, let that happen, and we'll be silent for a bit. And if we could lovingly notice as we continue to receive what it's like for the three angels upstream to infuse joy into the stream and for that joy to reach you. So they're being an angelically infused flow of water that instills and infuses joy into your shoulder, into your neck, into your skull, into your brain, into your cells, into your systems. Joy in your heart, joy in your joints. And in a flash, let's very simply notice you receiving this. Let's just very simply have the knowledge that every single person on the earth, every single human being, infants, people who are 100 years old, everyone receiving the same clearing and healing right now. Everyone. Your family, your loved ones, people you don't like. And let's very simply let the focus be you in the stream receiving. If we could notice Archangel Sandalphon still singing, perhaps a different tune. And as we focus on the loving care that is here from Archangel Haniel, we'll notice in the woods around the stream, so deep in the woods that we can't see him, let's notice Archangel Raziel, the angel of words and wisdom, scouting things out. He'd like to say that differently. Let's notice that he's on the watch. And so the things that we can't see, if we could have that be a switch into not being afraid of what we can't see, to trust that everything is seen, and the angels are amplifying not only your protection, your peace of mind, but to create harmony all throughout the planet. And if we could feel what might seem like a contradiction, let's notice right now as you receive healing, as you receive an infusion of joy and health, as you are receiving loving care. Let's notice this being an act of leadership, your receptivity. That the growth that is happening in this moment, the simple act of surrendering to the care of the angels and allowing an expansion to happen, allowing great things to happen, is an act of leadership. Whereas healing is an act of leadership, allowing things to change. So we'll notice in this moment, for every single human being who's receiving the same healing, let's notice those who are doubling down on fear, those who are preventing it, making it hard for people to vote, those who are terrified of your voice. Let's notice them receiving the same healing and all that rigidity melting away, all that fear melting away. And with that known, let's very simply come back to this direct moment. Let's feel Archangel Haniel touching you, noticing where she touches you, and notice her smile. Oh, goody. Just noticing her enthusiasm for this moment. And if we could notice when she says, oh, goody, that it's not cutesy, that she's genuinely excited. If we could notice what you hear in that, what it feels like in your cells to hear her enthusiasm, to have her be enthusiastic for your healing, for this time of connection, and for all the goodness that is here. And with an incredibly delicate touch, like an artist using a very fine brushstroke, if we can notice with her fingertips, let's notice Haniel putting her fingertips on the area around your eyes, perhaps your eyes directly, your eyelids, your eyebrows. Just notice delicate touch there around sight. As they repeat that we see too much, let's very simply let Archangel Haniel heal your vision. And that being threefold: healing your physical sight, healing any overwhelm from too many images, including negative images or imagined negative images, and allowing your true sight to come forward. And let's say an affirmation out loud and not feel like we have to take immediate action on it. If we could just say out loud, I'm fully equipped to thrive. And let's let that affirmation be so. And if we could feel the dedication from Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael upstream, the dedication of Raziel, the dedication of Sandalphon, the dedication of Haniel, Archangel Metatron, floating hundreds of feet in the air above you. Let's notice the care that is here. And like a secret between the two of you, let's notice where Archangel Ariel is. Great. And if we could notice Haniel taking time, she'd like us to name off the different systems in the body and let her directly address those. So if we could just breathe in and letting Archangel Haniel directly address and heal and bring refreshed um, refreshed vitality to the system. Let's let her refresh your immune system. So it works perfectly. And her analogy with the immune system, because we've all been paying attention to that, if we could feel it, your immune system right now being like having worn out tires replaced. Fresh tires, fresh traction, a fresh experience with your immune system. And we'll lovingly breathe into that. And we'll let Archangel Haniel refresh and revitalize your nervous system. And, oh goody, if we could let her do what she did again, perhaps in a different way. So if we could just breathe in and let's allow, more than anything, allow our nervous systems to be refreshed. She'd like to add a step. If you could feel her asking you, I'll vocalize it, may I have permission to refresh your nervous system? And if you could just say out loud to her, yes. What she's referring to with that is the spaces where some of us might have be a little bit locked down in our nervous system, used to stress, used to being hypervigilant, And if we could very simply unlock that door and let a different experience happen. And we'll just breathe in. She is spending a lot of time here, but if we can notice it's with purpose. And if we could just breathe in, let's notice, like it's the first time, what it means to be relaxed. Good, wonderful. We'll take another breath and let's let her refresh and revitalize your digestive system, starting with the mouth and working that down to all the different systems and organs part of that. Wonderful. Let's let her refresh your respiratory system. And if we could add to that not only your nose, your mouth, and your lungs, and the system of infusing your blood with oxygen, let's notice the actual atmosphere itself being included in that. That we indeed breathe in clean air, fresh air, no matter where we are. Wonderful. Your sense of hearing, the system of hearing, similar to your eyesight, the space where we might hear too much. And allowing ourselves to hear gorgeous sounds, be that sound of fun singing, be that music that you love, be that intentional conversation, receiving, being part of a health space. Words of love, sounds of love, sounds of nature. Wonderful. We'll let her shift to your sense of smell. Wonderful. She'd like to refresh, with a caveat, uh, our sense of feeling, not feelings, but our sense to feel the atmosphere. She's using that wording. And if we can notice empaths, which is essentially everyone here, if we could just breathe in, let her just gently comb away, wash away any enmeshment with anybody else, including people you live with, including people who are on your mind, which might include people you don't know personally. You can let all that enmeshment move away and allowing yourself a fresh experience of feeling your environment, feeling your own body and your own being, feeling the presence of the angels, letting everything that is sensory around your skin, your ability to touch, your ability to feel, letting all these be pluses and additions to your life. So letting wash away downstream any experience of overwhelm. And if we could let, which might be almost the sensation of stretching, letting Haniel clear out the space between being overwhelmed and numb. So this large expanse, let's let her clear and cleanse all of that out. And that cleansing to her is almost like a yoga pose. And if we could very simply vocalize out loud, it is safe for me to feel. It is safe for me to feel good things. I have no need to be overwhelmed. I'm not the world's janitor. I don't need to feel everything all the time. I adjust my sensitivity toward the positive. Great. So if we could feel with that last part that we don't need to feel the negativity of the planet, we could focus on the good, the love, the harmony, and not miss a thing. Great. Good work, everyone. And we'll continue. They're being super specific here, which is a great gift. We can notice your circulatory system, including your heart, including your arteries, your veins, your blood itself. That system working perfectly. If we could feel like a street sweeper, street cleaner moving through your heart, all the valves in your hearts, the four chambers of the heart, into arteries, capillaries, everything working perfectly in your your circulatory system. If we could just, as always, give our hearts a tip of the hat, acknowledging the brilliance of the heart working constantly for decades. If we could say out loud to our hearts, thank you. And with a compliment to our hearts, we'll say out loud, thank you for your excellent service. I love you. So let's notice what it's like to fill our own hearts with joy, with appreciation. Oh, good. So we'll just breathe into that and feel that system working perfectly. And let's notice your system of intuition, which is a simple system that does involve your entire being. If we could feel that system being refreshed and it being active and in use now for close to 30 minutes. So if we could trust that your system of intuition works well. So if we could just breathe in and perhaps let any doubt around your intuition float downstream, move away from you. And if we could let your intuition with Haniel be like squeezing out a sponge, releasing expectation, releasing rules, releasing the idea that only some people can do it, recognizing you're here right now and you're using your intuition, which is a great thing. And if we could just lovingly say out loud, I am powerfully intuitive. Wonderful. So we'll just breathe in. And let's notice the system of thought, belief, and consciousness. If we could acknowledge that you know a lot, and in the same manner as which we chose to focus our sensitivity toward the good, let's very simply train our thoughts toward the good. And if we could notice that's not a Pollyannish thing to do, we could very simply point out that we know what doesn't work, we know, and we could focus on the power of our thoughts, the power of our beliefs, the power of our intentions, and allow our focus to go to the good. So we'll just breathe into that, and we'll notice goodness in action. And let's say out loud, I choose powerfully positive thoughts. Great, we'll just breathe into that. And this may not resonate for everyone. She's pointing out anyone who feels afraid of their own thoughts. Let's let her help out right now. Let's let her wash out your consciousness, wash out your brain, like cleaning out the lint thing in the dryer. If we could just breathe in. And whatever it means to not feel like a juggler with your own thoughts, let's let the juggler sit down. Let's feel your thoughts being pristine, it being safe to have positive thoughts, it being safe to lead and help the planet, steer the planet and humanity and people toward a happier future, happier present. So we'll just breathe into all that. And allowing our thoughts include this space of heading toward a oneness experience like we're having right now, where everyone thrives, everyone matters. That the simplicity of love and peace is present in our hearts and our actions and our words. So we'll just breathe into all that. Wonderful. If we can notice Haniel sitting up a bit as you lounge in the stream, and her touching with her eyes and her hands and her heart the rest of your physical body, especially the joints, including your skin, your teeth, your bones, letting everything be seen and heard, your hair, letting your energetic body, your aura, your chakras, your meridians work perfectly, your mental body being pristine and big, clean, like a clean library with all the books in order on the shelves, no chaos, only order. Your feelings, your emotional body being celebrated and experiencing great relaxation. We'll take this moment to let Archangel Haniel lift you up out of the stream so the two of you are standing in the stream together. Just notice the two of you embracing the nice hug. And the two of you heart to heart, eye to eye, nose to nose, body to body. If we could just breathe in and feeling the other angels that are around, Ariel, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Raziel, Sandalphon, joining together. If we could feel all of us here joining together, and everyone who'll listen in the future joining together. Let's take this moment to really very simply feel in our hearts a peaceful planet, world peace, where everyone thrives, everyone expresses themselves positively, that we embrace and encourage each other, we are curious about each other as opposed to being afraid, that we cheer each other on. We cheer on great new ideas, action, projects, paintings, writings, sharing, that we have patience and enthusiasm. That we live in a world where weapons are discarded as useless and relics. That only words of love and encouragement are spoken, as there's nothing else to do. That we celebrate creation, art, endeavor, We celebrate doing things collectively. So we'll just breathe into that. And with a lightness of touch, but a passionate heart, if we could say out loud, I choose to live in oneness now. I choose to live on a peaceful planet now. I am seen and heard and safe now. I choose for everyone to be seen, heard, and safe right now. I release, different wording, I drop out of otherness. I embrace wholeness. I am whole and complete right now. I am a beacon of light. I am an ambassador of peace. To all the good in the universe, I say yes. 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 Wonderful. So if we could just take in a breath and notice Haniel in this embrace, the gathering of angels, you perhaps in the middle of an angel group hug. And if we could feel and notice the extension of love right now, love extending to you, love extending from you, love extending from you. And with heartfelt clarity, peace of mind, and accomplishment, if we could very simply say out loud to all the angels, Haniel especially, Michael, Ariel, Gabriel, Raphael, Raziel, Metatron, and Ariel, we'll say out loud to them, thank you, angels. Thank you for this healing and clearing. I am free. Wonderful. So we'll just breathe in, and perhaps with a hint of a stretch. We'll notice what it's like to let all that take effect, to all that clarity and expansion to be felt. And we'll notice what's available to us, which is goodness. And with generosity, peace, and ease, we quite simply and lovingly thank the presence of Mother, Father, God, and all the archangels and ascended masters. We thank as well the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for this opportunity, for loving peace, perfect joy, and radiant love. We're so grateful for Archangel Haniel in this stream. We thank you. We thank the other angels for adding, for holding space, for watching out over us, and for us to know that we are safe, we are held in peace, and we are loved, and we allow ourselves to extend that awareness to others as we eradicate fear from the planet with great joy. And with loving peace, we quite simply and lovingly ask for this or something better right now in all directions of time, and so it is.